Alright, so got the 550X Pro back in action now. I replaced the ESC with a Castle Creations Edge 120 HV. If you haven't heard, of course, the 550X Pro stock ESC that Blade was shipping with them, they've been having a lot of problems with them. People actually have them basically starting on fire either mid-flight or shortly after getting it down, losing power in mid-flight, etc. So I was gonna kind of just stick it out with the stock one because it's maybe 6 to 10% of them seem to be failing, and I hadn't seen any issues so far with mine, and I tend not to fly it like continuously, battery after battery. I usually give it a good downtime between flights, so I really wasn't too worried about causing any kind of overheating or other issue. But when the guys here locally actually had theirs melt down and destroy the helicopter for the most part. So I decided it was time to go ahead and take advantage of the Blade $100 refund on them. So I got that installed, and I just sent out the stock one for a refund yesterday. And so I got it all set up, and this is going to be the first spin up with it. And I'm just going to be testing head speed. I have it set up. I have to check my transmitter settings, but I got the governor set up on it for, if I remember right, it's like 1800, 1950, and 21 or 2200 head speed. The Castle software was giving me complaints about running the I think I was trying to set 22 or 2250 for the high-end head speed, and the software was giving me issues, basically saying that my gearing it'd be running too close to full output in order to maintain that head speed. So I had to go down a little bit lower than I was wanting. So that might just be, we'll see how it works. I might end up having to maybe get a different opinion on this, go up to I don't know, maybe like a 16 tooth instead of, I think this is a stock 14 if I remember right. Just something to give it a little bit more head speed at the various settings, and hopefully that'll solve that if I'm not too happy with the head speed on it. But otherwise, I got the auto rotation bailout feature set up on it, so I'm going to be testing that out. And otherwise, just generally kind of doing some hovering tests, maybe a couple of pitch pumps if things are checking out fine, and see what happens. I haven't heard the beeps for the ESC yet. This should do it. Yep. I have to hit my throttle cut now in order to get it to fully initialize and reset. Just do a quick check on my throttle curves. I got it set for a flat 30 for normal and a flat 70 for idle up, so that's going to give me my middle head speed, which like I said, I think it's set for either 1900 or 1950, and the low end is set for, I think, around 1800. Well, let's see what happens here. Nice slow start with this ESC compared to the stock E-Flight one. Ooh, big tail blowout on that. So this is just my low head speed And bring it a little closer, getting a little look at the head tracking. Seems to be pretty stable. Yeah. Tracking looks good. I'm not seeing any kind of wobbles or anything crazy like that. Getting a big blowout with the low head speed. Alright, here's my idle up. Like I said, this is the medium head speed. Less blowout. Still getting some though. This is weird. I wasn't expecting there to be any kind of tail blowout issues as a result of this ESC change. Maybe it's just the governor is set up for a little bit lower. This is set up on default gain, so maybe it's just taking a while for it to catch up, and that's giving the tail a little bit of a blowout issue. Yeah, I don't know if I should try and adjust that with some kind of, changing the ESC gain, or no, maybe I can adjust that out with that is bizarre. That was kind of a weird blade noise there. Sounds fine. And I inverted. Bring it in, do a little bit of checks on the auto rotation bailout reset issue setting. Make sure I got my throttle set up correctly for that, and the hold setting set up. Here's my hold button. This thing should spin up pretty fast. Bring it back in. Versus, now I'm just going to let this actually come to a complete stop and then give it bring it back on. Okay, not a complete stop, but close enough. Versus this setting, which should give me a slow start. Yeah. And do a quick high-speed idle up test. This is my bigger battery, and I have this now set, at least with the old ESC in settings, fairly conservative. So I should have plenty of battery to do this. It's looking pretty good. With the higher idle up setting. The higher idle up setting, the blowout was still there, just a hair though. It wasn't that bad. I think what I might try doing is increasing the governor gain setting just a little bit. I know on the 700 it caused some flutter issues with the pitch pumps, but I think it's worth giving a try on this one. It's got a different motor set up. It's much smaller. The rotor disc is smaller, so it might just behave differently. So I think it's worth giving it a try. So I'm gonna make those changes, and we'll give it another flight, and